coat our cake. Here are my cakes already cooled down completely and my warm ganache. And yeah, so the materials we're going to need are some cake board, turntable, of course spatula, and a serrated knife for cutting the top of the cake, and a bench scraper. So that's it. Here I have a bread knife or a butter knife, and I'm just going to run it all over the side of my cake so it can easily come off of the tin. So now you can see that our cake is pretty moist, and we can now start cutting off the top layer to even it out. And on this cake we don't have this cake is pretty flat, so we don't have to cut so much of the cake. So unlike our first cake, this one has more uneven top. So what we're going to do is to flatten it out again so that the sides of our cake will be straight, and the top as well. So now here is our cake, more flat and more even. And that's what we're going to do on our last cake. This one is also like our second cake. It's also rounded and not flat, so we're just going to trim that out again. And really evening it out. Now we're ready to stock up our cake. I'm going to use my warm ganache as a glue on top of the cake board, and then I'm going to stock my first layer of the cake. So we use the warm ganache as a glue because we don't want to slide, our cake to be easily slide. So it is secured with the ganache, and then just really placing the cake whichever you like. So yeah, and then now I'm just putting a dollop of my warm ganache on top of my first layer of the cake. So this will be our icing, and then I'm just going to flatten it out so it will be ready for the next layer. So as you can see, it is pretty warm, so it will kind of like a droop a little bit on the side. So yeah, this is my second layer. We can place it on top and just really repeat everything until you're done stacking your cake. Now what, Kat? Now what? I'll tell you what. We now going to crumb coat our cake so that there will be no crumbs sticking out of your finished product. So just apply a thin layer of your ganache into your cake and just really coating the sides and the top of the cake as well. You can pop it in the fridge if you like, or this ganache is really cooling down, it's really thickening up. So what I did is just placing a thick layer of the ganache mixture into my cake and just really covering the bumpy sides, the lumpy sides, really just smoothing it out, adding a little bit more to this side and that side, and using my spatula and bench scraper, just really repeatedly doing this to achieve what we're looking for, either a rustic look or a sharp edged ganache cake. Really, it's up to you, it's what you prefer. So now if you have some holes here and there, we can just add a little bit more and scrape it off, and just keep on adding, the drill, guys. And also, if you don't want to have a sharp edge, or it's hard to achieve for you, you can always use the back of your spoon to really run along the sides and on top of your cake for a more rustic finished look. And I will show at the end of this video what a ganache cake looks like and the sharp edged cake looks like, and then we're ready. So I'm just going to finish this cake. I need not really a sharp edge, but on the a really smooth covered cake. So that's what I'm going for today. And yeah, so the process of this cake is really repeatedly smoothing it out and adding a little bit more here and there to achieve what we're looking for. And we're done. Here is my finished cake, ready to be covered in fondant. And here is the sample of a rustic cake. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye.